Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's JVceo. I think this video is so important. There are so many people asking about it. I think it's a natural progression for a lot of people in the UK as well, because the UK may not be working out for them. By the way, I think the UK is a brilliant place. I've done phenomenally well in the UK. My first jobs obviously were in the UK. Great education system, university. I'm a law graduate for some of you that don't know. I've done incredibly well. My first foray into business was in the UK. However, people want to know, why did I leave the UK? Was it all good or was it all bad? I didn't leave the UK because it was bad. I wouldn't say that, but I think I'll start by saying, firstly, freedom. I think it's boring to live and die in one particular place. I mean, even when I'm here, like for example, people say, oh, where did you move to? I usually say I moved to Africa. Because even though I'm in Nigeria at the moment, I don't want to pigeonhole myself to Nigeria. I love being fluid. I think my unhappy place, if I'm honest with you, whoever knows me on a bit more of a personal level, my unhappy place is just being one place. I just don't like that. Whether it's being one place mentally, being one place physically, being one place financially, I don't like that. I should move somewhere. Whether it's up or down financially, at least if I move down financially, it gives me energy to go somewhere else. I think just staying stagnant is just my biggest thing. And I felt like I'd exhausted my purpose for that particular time in the UK. That doesn't mean that I've moved out of the UK. I still, for all intent and purposes, I'm still, a taxpayer in the UK. I'm still domiciled in the UK. I'm a resident of the UK, right? However, I am now testing other places. So obviously, I spend quite a bit of time out in Nigeria at the moment, like I mentioned. And I think it's more from, like I mentioned, freedom. How did that freedom come about? My dogs died. Literally, my dogs died. I'm not going to say their names, but yeah, they died. If I remember correctly, they died on the 8th and the 9th of July, 2021. And obviously, I lived alone with my dogs. I was the sole keeper of them. And if any of you have dogs, you know how attached you are. And they're Rottweilers. They're not dogs you could just give to someone and say, "Oh yeah, hold this for me whilst I travel." So when they died, it was a sad moment, but it was also an opportunity. So then I started traveling. I think from sort of August, I started moving around. I traveled to loads of different places, just trying to see where I connect with. I was moving around in Spain, from Valencia to Barcelona to Madrid. And I went into, I think, Portugal, Algarve, Porto, Lisbon. Then I went into Amsterdam. From Amsterdam, I was in Noordwijk, where my friend Dennis hosted me. From there, I got a call from one of my mates, AJ. He goes, "Look, I'm in Dubai. Do you want to come over? The lads are here." Blah, 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 blah. So I took a flight over to Dubai. And then whilst I was at Dubai, I was like, I've never actually spent Christmas in Nigeria as an adult. Let me come back and just see what it feels like, and just experience it. And then I came back, and basically I've made this a place of choice ever since. So I think it's definitely an important factor. I think if you don't feel free in the UK, and bear in mind as well, obviously I've got my whole family in the UK, but I'm a popular loner. So it was quite an easy move for me. I don't feel connected to, a group of friends that we meet up every week and all of that. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing or a good thing, but it's just a me thing. There was nothing holding me back from going, if that makes any sense. I've been so ultra independent, and I just love my own sort of space, and I love a new challenge. So I think the freedom aspect was the first sort of part. And even as I'm here at the moment, my sort of future goals when it comes to like my living situation, I want a situation where like I'm in the UK for like 6 months of the year, and then I'm in Nigeria for 3 months, and then I'm in South Africa at my holiday home for a month of the year, maybe the best month of the year, maybe Christmas. I always spend Christmas over there, and The rest of the time I'm wherever I want to be. And obviously in between that you're doing your normal holidays. But I've always seen myself wanting to base across sort of 2 to 3 countries potentially. Because I love the idea. I just love the idea. Firstly, your earning potential increases exponentially as well. Because obviously at the moment I earn from Nigeria, I also earn from my operations in the UK. So if I added somewhere else to it and I'm earning from there, I'm earning in 3 currencies, and I can make a lot of things work. But sort of going on from there, I think I'm not gonna lie and say it was such a conscious decision. I actually think it was a bit of a fluke because, like I mentioned, I was just traveling around and then just kind of like done it. I do think people need to take bolder steps, and believe it or not, there's quite a lot of people that are starting to shuttle between the UK and Africa. Ghana, I've got quite a lot of friends that previously lived in the UK and now, they are enjoying their time in Ghana. I also think it was a great business move because my business sort of position and background facilitated the move. And what do I mean by that? 2018, I haven't actually worked. So what is keeping me in the UK permanently? Why can't I go out and explore the world, if that makes any sense? And my business has allowed me to do that. I don't have many physical businesses that requires my presence. Most of my businesses is online, virtual. I do a lot of middlemanning stuff. Obviously, some of you know what I do: 365 moguls, property, and so on and so forth. A lot of these things, I don't need to be in the UK for it. So for me, it was just a great opportunity. It was a perfect opportunity. God has blessed me to be able to sort of open a laptop, connect to data, internet, and sort of get some amazing work done from anywhere in the world. So yeah, I'm a digital nomad, if you want to call it that. I'm a digital nomad. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a business owner. I'm a serial entrepreneur. So it was a perfect move. Now we would get into some more other stuff. I'm not going to sit here and say taxes was why I moved out of the UK or why I'm experiencing other places, right? I'm not going to say that because the truth is my taxes, taxes are fine, and my taxes do go up and down. And sometimes, on a yearly basis, I don't really take much from the business. So I'm not going to say taxes because that's usually the cliche thing. People say, oh, moving to Dubai. I think that's more prevalent if you are working. For me, I'm a business owner. So obviously we reinvest money into the company and we don't really, pay a lot of personal tax per se. And even our business taxes, we do quite a lot of write-offs. So I don't think that was actually ever a problem. I also think it was just an opportunity to connect with the homeland because obviously I've been in the UK for too many years and haven't really taken in Nigeria. And coming back here has been amazing. Weather is great 24/7. I'm starting to figure out some new things and dope opportunities. I'm also starting to create parallel bases. I've got a great base in the UK. Now I have a great base in Nigeria. That means options. That means tomorrow when I'm retiring at 45, 50, I have the option of coming to the UK, spending some time in the UK, going to Nigeria, spending some time in the UK. If I've now built a base in, let's say, the US and let's say Tanzania, for example, Zanzibar, that those are options. Those are options. So I can't create those options solely from the UK. And I think that's part of the reason why I sort of chose to start experiencing other places. I think as well, a very important one was social change. A lot of people complain, but they don't change the situation. People are moody, people are depressed, people are lost. And it's an opportunity to sort of delve into other places and see, does this place speak to my heart? So I think social change is another thing as well. The UK just got boring to a certain degree in terms of everything just seemed repetitive, if that makes any sense. Everything seemed repetitive. Firstly, I don't even like London. London isn't my favorite city. I think probably like Manchester probably is. And I like up north, like places that it's not too sort of like, it's not a big city. I like, I'm a secluded, reclusive kind of person. I like private living. So, I'm not really a London person, but again, just everything just seemed repetitive. So I thought, yeah, time to pack my bags and experience a new place. And then obviously, some of you are probably wondering, which I'll talk about like the whole steps moving, like my whole setup and stuff. But just briefly, so that we can wrap this video up, some of you are probably wondering, did the move work? Of course it did. The move worked, and it worked fantastically. Firstly, I think if I was in the UK, I wouldn't be married at the moment, which probably means I wouldn't have a daughter at the moment, because I always wanted a daughter within the context of a marriage, because obviously I was born to married parents. So why can't I give the same to my offspring? So that worked. I think business opportunities works. Is meeting people as well, I think works, because I probably go out a bit more here than I do in the UK. UK, everything, if you're a reclusive person, UK encourages it. I never need to leave my house because I can order to my house. I can order everything to my house. But sometimes, you know, here in Nigeria, just the whole culture, you start to go out a bit more. I'm not a nightlife person, but I'd go out during the daytime. I go to the beach. I have a beach membership. I have private club memberships. So my quality of life overall seems to be better. And also I do think from a financial standpoint, it's worked fantastically as well. It's allowed me to firstly grow my income because I have less expenses. So I'm able to reinvest and then grow. So I've been able to grow my income, but also I've been able to stretch my income as well in terms of what I actually am able to afford compared to, you know, being in the UK. That's why I think Africa is a fantastic place. Obviously, just choose the country and then, you know, make it home. And yeah, I think these are probably the reasons that come to mind in terms of why I moved out of the UK. And if you are looking to move and you want to ask me some questions, I'm more than happy to answer. Hit me up, contact at JVceo, hit me up on Snap. I am JVceo, same as my Instagram, I am JVceo. If you're in the middle of the move and you're a bit confused and there are things that I haven't covered in this video and you want to hear about it, just let me know, all right? Thank you for watching as always. Stay safe and stop the rioting. I wish we could all live in harmony, right? Because it's crazy. It's crazy, it's crazy, it's crazy. Listen, there's no country that is fully, well, major country anyway. To my knowledge, there's no major country that's fully just the indigenous people, if that makes any sense. And the truth is, immigration brings a lot of great talent to that local economy. I mean, if you look at the UK, I've had one doctor in the UK, well, one general practitioner, and he's Asian, right? If you look at many industries, you'd find loads of different race of people, and that just shows how multicultural we are. It's really sad that, you know, this whole thing's happening. But I think it's from the top down as well, which I'm not going to go into in this video, but it's very sad because I think at the higher level and the conscious level, we all deal with each other. I mean, some of my best mates are of different races, Asians, whites, and so on and so forth. On our network, we have a plethora of different races, mixed race, Asians, whites, different types of whites, and so on and so forth, blacks, of course. And just seeing what's happening in the UK, it's a sad affair, but this is not a sad video. This is an informative video in terms of why I moved away from the UK. Until next Sunday.